Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. It's Bernie here from the Dragons Lair. This time on our segment, we're going to talk about the Heroes Convention and what it means to us. Now, the Heroes Convention is the biggest convention in North Carolina. It's put on by Heroes Are Hard to Find, and it's been going on for several years. I'm talking about 30, 35 years. I've even lost track of the years. But man, this weekend would be the weekend that Heroescon would be going on. But because of the COVID, it has been canceled, and like me and many others, we're very disappointed. And not just because it's a convention, but it's a place of gathering that we get to meet and actually meet some new creators, but as well as see some old ones that we haven't seen in a while, friends that we've made over the years. And that's what it's become to me. It's like a reunion of friendship that we get to see people. So this is our tribute to the Heroes Convention. I'm going to share a couple of stories with you that throughout the years through Heroescon. So first, I guess you want to say that we're happy to be doing this, and I hope you get a chance to subscribe to our channel and tell your friends about it. As I've said before, it may not be pretty, but we're going to just do it and have fun. That's what it's all about. For one of our customers who've been watching on one of the sites, we talked about different things, and for some reason he asked me if I was wearing Skechers. So I was, and I said it's like a follower thing, but as you get older, the shoes, it's about comfort. So today, Michael, Long, for you, I'm wearing my Chucks. That's right, my Chucks, my Cons. So they are here, my Chucks. Converse are here. So just to clear that up, I also wear several different shoes. I also wear, I have some Italian New Rock boots. So those are pretty cool. It just depends on the stuff. I think a man should have different shoes for different events. So as I covered that for you, Michael, and whoever else, I am wearing my Chucks today. So let's move on. Let's talk about Heroescon. So my first Heroescon experience, my first full Heroescon experience happened around 1992. And basically what ended up happening was we went to this convention, and there was a lot of stuff going on, and we got to meet a lot of up and coming artists at the time. I met a guy named Joe Quesada. That's right, Joe Quesada. He was just an artist. I met a guy named George Perez, legend in the industry. And I met several other guys, and I'll tell you about that. So basically, we went to this convention. Joe Quesada had a page of Joe's work, loved his work. He was just up and coming. So I go up and I say, "Hey, Joe, could you sign this for me?" And he's like, "Oh, you bought a piece of art from Scott Dumber." I said, "Yeah." He's, "Man," I said, "I love your work." He's, "Oh, thanks." So that went on. Had a great conversation. Later on, George Perez, I had a friend. She was going up there to get one book signed, and same thing happened. He decided he was going to sign her one comic first before this guy's 10 million comics. And so that happened. We go to the bar that night after a party, and the way it happened was we went to the party. It was a Heroes Convention party. We were leaving. My friend danced. She danced with George Perez, and then after that, we went to, it was just a little dance, stuff like that. He remembered her from getting the comic signed. And then after that, we go to the elevator, and we're about to get in the elevator, and the guy's, "Hey, you guys want to go up to the bar with us?" We said, "Sure." That was Joe Quesada. That was Dave Johnson. It was, I think Jason Pearson was there. Who else? Dave Johnson. Maybe Tony Harris. It was a bunch of guys from Gaijin Studios. And we just had a good time, hung out. And then a few weeks later, actually the day later, before the con ended, we got to know Joe, and Joe's like, "Hey, send me a picture of your friend, and I'll draw her in a comic book." So, fast forward a few months later, I sent him some shots of her, and basically he used her in the comic book. It's pretty cool. He sent us the original art. We've been friends ever since. He's so busy now, though. It's one of those things that we talk here and there through Facebook. And, man, it's really cool to see where he went from an artist to being a big head guy at Marvel Comics. The next guy, George Perez, you guys probably know. Oh, speaking of Joe, before I move on, I did get him to do this freaking cool sketch. It is of Azrael. It's the first convention sketch. He had some layouts and some pictures of the book. It came out yet. It was coming out like that fall, and I said, "Man, that's a cool looking character. Could you draw it?" So, of course, he did. Pretty awesome. He even wrote on there, the first convention sketch of Azrael. So that's actually pretty cool. It's hanging up at the store. It's one of the few pieces that I've sold. Just love it. And then let's move on. So we'll go on to George Perez. Same thing. Got to meet George. Really nice guy. And man, there's so much you could say about George. He is a really good, genuine person. And what I mean by that is he is so down to earth. He will talk to you like there's no tomorrow. If you don't know him, you'll get to know him really quick. That's the way it is. And that's how it became with George. It was funny because it started off as just, hey, just meeting him and then seeing if he'd come down to our store, do a store signing, which he did. And we became friends. And he would call us up, talk on the phone. It was really cool. And then my friend, she basically became a model for him. And it was pretty cool. So she was cosplay before cosplay. He was doing a new book called Gladiator, and he decided to use her as a character, as a villain named Crimson Plague. At the time it was Plague. And after sharing countless hours of talking about this character, he thought it was so much more interesting to do the book from Plague and make it Crimson Plague and make it on her. So everybody in this book was an actual person, and it's pretty cool because they debuted at Heroescon in 1997, and there, everybody in it was a real person. This is the original cover from Heroescon. It's actually a comic book. It's pretty cool. And he did a scavenger hunt. So everybody was there. If you got the comic signed, you could get it signed by everybody at the convention. You had to find these people, and they would sign it. And then at the end, there was some kind of prize. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool idea. Like I said, everybody in here is a real person, including myself, which I am down here somewhere. Oh, here I am. So it is a character named Impel. So yeah, I own the original art of this. They did it at an auction they used to do auctions on Sundays towards the end of the show. Won this for a very good price. It's an original piece of artwork by George Perez. Very cool, very proud to have it. So that's it right there. And like I said, it is for the original variants. One of the original store variants they did, and it was a convention piece. So it's pretty cool. So that's another history of the Heroescon for us. I've met so many people through this. I've met tons of artists. One of the guys I really loved to talk to, he's passed away now. It's a guy named Norman Lee. Norman was a great guy. We hit it off in the 90s. He was Asian. I'm Asian. So every year it was very cool to see him. Matter of fact, we had set some times up for him to finally come down for Free Comic Day. The year that he passed away, he left. I mean, I was talking to him through Facebook the day before he left for his trip, and man, it was very sad to hear that what happened to him. And man, Heroescon hasn't been the same for a lot of us. I just miss seeing that guy. He's a really good guy. I remember when Riley was born, I brought her up to see him, and he just loved her to death. He did a cool sketch for her in her sketchbook, and man, I'm gonna miss that guy. And like I said, I know a lot of people are as well. So we miss you, man. We'll see you. We'll see you again soon. And as far as George Perez goes, I forgot to share this one. So George did do this one. It's an original piece. He did for me for my birthday. I did forget about showing you this. So that's actually pretty cool. We did it for my birthday. Check it out. This is how old this thing is. December 1st, 1997. That is what, 23 years ago? Right? 23 years ago. Going on 23 years, 22 years old. This is older than my daughter. This picture is older than my daughter, who is filming it. All right, so that's my George Perez piece. But like I said, I've met so many people at Heroes Convention, and this one right here is pretty cool. We did this cool family photo with Uncle Stan. Check it out. He was there in 2015. That was his last appearance there at Heroes Convention, and we brought the whole family. This was everybody's first experience as far as the Jackson part of the family. This was the first experience at a convention, first experience at the Heroescon too, which was kind of cool. And they got to meet Stan Lee. I remember when we went through there, they say, hey, if you can, don't touch Stan Lee, because it's one of those things where, germs, stuff like that. So as we go through like the little booth to get the pictures, he shakes, I think he shook Marshall's hand, and then he at the end, I guess Ian looks at him and he says, I'm their I'm one of your biggest fans. And he pats him and he goes, oh, well, thank you very much. And then we left, and like, Ian looks around and he goes, Stanley touched me. And we're like, you we know you're excited, but you can say that to us, but don't say it really loud in public. It doesn't sound right. So that's another story. The whole family got to see Stanley and meet him, so that was actually pretty cool. I met him, the first time I met him was back in 1997 at the San Diego Comic-Con, and that was actually a pretty cool experience itself. I'll tell you more about that a little later, because we are talking about Heroes Convention, and man, I'll tell you what, so the last few years, it's been great because I've seen my daughter grow up. A lot of people see my daughter grow up, and I've got to see her grow up here at Heroescon and all these different conventions doing cosplay. Now that started off as kind of my fault. We got this Batgirl costume. My mom fixed it up. It's a really cool costume, and so I took her. It was 2012. So I took her and her brother to Heroescon, just us three, and of course my friend. And she was wearing this Batgirl costume. Well, everybody wanted to take a picture with her. She was so adorable. And so by about the third picture, she had the stance down. She get there and she took a picture. She took a picture with Catwoman and Harley Quinn, and she gets a stance. She's like, this. It was great. So that became so we take a picture. So there's several pictures I have on my Facebook that we could probably share with you here soon of her doing a little thing. I know as I'm filming this, she's just kind of smiling and going, I can't remember that. She remembers it, but she sees it in the pictures. So, man, I would say, once again, we love Heroescon. Thank you, Shelton Drum. You are definitely one of my mentors in the comic business. Thank you so much for doing it every year, and especially last year when you started, where if you're under 18 and below, you got in free. That is awesome. That's a great thing. Keep doing the Heroescon as long as possible. I'm going to let you know we missed it this year, and I truly miss seeing you. That's always a big thing for me. Seeing you every year is one of my highlights of the convention, Shelton. So take care of you guys selves. We hope to see you guys next year. This is my little Heroescon tribute, and I hope everything gets through and we can get this thing done and see each other next year at Heroes Convention. I look forward to bringing my daughter and my nephew and my grandson and the rest of the family again to what I say and what many people say, one of the best family-friendly conventions in the United States. Keep going. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.